get you some friends that push you, that encourage you, that motivate you to be your best self. Have you a friend underneath you? Have you a friend to the left, to the right, behind, on both sides, everywhere? Have you some friends that will literally be there for you through your best seasons of your life and through your worst seasons of life?
She's very encouraging, very inspiring, and she actually motivated me. She was authentic and very personable, and it really made me start to relate to her story. What I aspire to be? Just the best version of myself.
You are listening to Unleash the Podcast, revolutionizing the way women grow, work, live, and lead, engaging interviews, insightful book reviews, and timeless gems to aid the modern woman in excelling personally and professionally. Hosted by the multi-passionate Tabitha D. James, Unleash the Podcast not only empowers listeners, but also equips them with applicable action-based resources for daily life. Hey friends, this week's episode of Unleash the Podcast is few seconds away. But before we jump into that, I want to remind you to check out the link in the show notes and grab your tickets to the 1 Unleash live recording and 2 the Unleash Online Strategy Summit. So if you are branding something, building something, owning something, and you are in control of the website, the social media, and all the online messaging, you need to be in the space. Whether you're with us in Conway, South Carolina, or you decide to join online, you need to be there. Renee Reed from Higher Optics Biz is going to help us out. I have all the questions for her, and you'll be able to ask some of your own as it relates to SEO, Google presence, ads, all of that. So if you or someone you know is interested, head to that link in the show notes, share that, and secure your spot. All right, let's get to this interview with Jovan. He talks with us through transitions, friends, the importance of having friends, moving plans around, changing things, and faith. A big thing he talked about was faith and having faith, and that being a pillar of his unleashing of greatness in his corner of the world. To my knowledge, and I think I should probably know as the host, this is the first male interview, so no pressure at all. Jovan does just fine, but I'm excited to share this with you in a more non-traditional way for the Unleashed podcast, but super duper excited because the strength that is displayed, the resilience that is displayed, and the transparency. Listen, this is a goodie. All right, without further ado.
Oh my God, I'm super excited to have you on the Unleashed podcast. Like, you do not understand. I don't think you did it. I don't think you understand.
Hey, Tad.
I don't think you understand. I think that you may be the first male interviewed.
Okay, well, wow. No pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. I mean, dang. As if I needed any more.
No pressure. But I think so. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. I think I'm right.
Well,
so let's just get this thing.
That you thought of me. Thankful for the opportunity.
Yeah. Of course. Well, let's get this thing underway. So tell us just a little bit about yourself, like your background, where you're from, how were you as a kid. And, like, what were some of those dreams that you had, growing up, Jovan?
Well, so, like she said, I'm Jovan. Born and raised in New Jersey. Moved to South Carolina when I was 15. Went to Westmoreland High School, if you're familiar with that. And I graduated from Francis Marion University in Florence, South Carolina. But as a child, I was a quiet child. Believe it or not, I'm very loud now. I've kind of grown into my personality, grown into myself, but growing up I was very quiet, to myself a lot. People used to think that I had my family, not people, my family used to think that I had like a disorder or something like that because I never used to talk to people. And now I'm literally the total opposite. But, anyway, my dreams growing up, I wanted to be some of everything, y'all. Literally some of everything. One time I said I wanted to be a doctor. One time I said I wanted to be a lawyer. Like any occupation that you can think of, I wanted to be that at one point in time. For the longest time, though, I said I wanted to be a teacher. And then, when I got to like middle school, I realized that if students acted the way that I acted or the way that some of my peers acted, we would not have gotten along. And so that's why now I give the utmost respect, honor, and triple claps to teachers today, because they really have to deal with a lot that, they didn't ask for. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. My dream career, my career now is I work in operational finance. So that's kind of like what I went to school for. I went to school for marketing. When I went into college, I wanted to major in accounting. And I did major in accounting for a little bit until it got real. Got a little bit too real for me. And I said, you know what? This is not going to be your portion. And I still have kind of I won't say a passion, but I still have a like for accounting, but just not for my total career, not what I can see myself doing for the rest of my life now. So, but yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for taking us down that journey and kind of segueing into the question about, I was looking on your LinkedIn, being a stalker, but we're going to call it research. And I wanted to dive into, what made you choose Francis Marion and that major. And you kind of talked about how, accounting wasn't it, and you learned that early on and you made a pivot. So,
right.
Thanks for going ahead and jumping the gun on that one. But what made you choose Francis Marion? Were there some other schools in the pool? Give us a little context around that.
Yeah. Well, so when I graduated from West Florence High School, I was set and everything to go to Claflin University. And I was so excited to be attending Claflin University. I would have been the first the first person in my family to attend an HBCU college. So that was major for me. But went to go tour with my best friends and all that stuff, went to registration, and got that, opened up the letter where it had the money on it about how much to pay, and my FAFSA had not been applied. So it was like $29,000 a year to attend, which is a lot of money, like my family just didn't have that money to just dish out right then and there. And so I got a scholarship to Florence Darlington Tech, which is our technical school, in South Carolina, and I was able to go there for free. Tabitha, I was so upset. I was hurt. I was dead hurt because I had already began making friends with people from Claflin. I already had my roommate set out, all that, just kind of get myself prepared for Claflin. And I truly believe God said no. Like, if I can be honest, I feel like he said no, and I was hurt because, like I said, I really want to go there. I didn't want to go to 2-year school because all my friends was going to 4-year universities, and they was doing this, that, and the third. And here I was back at home going to a 2-year school. But then I had to realize I was going to school for free. I was going to school for free with money left over, and I was taking the same courses as my friends were, but I was, taking them at an easier level, and I was passing them. Well, I won't say passing. I was excelling at them because I had like A's and B's and all that. And then so when I was done with Florence Darlington, I said, well, we're to next. But then I experienced probably the worst tragedy of my life, losing my mother. So during that transition, leading up into her death, and then after the fact, I wanted to stay local. And that's why I say I feel like God literally made me stay back in Florence, when I wanted to go to Claflin, because I had to be there to support my mother, had to be there to support my family, close by. So got to Princess Mariam, didn't really want to go there. You know, like I said, my heart was still set on Claflin. I really wanted to go to Claflin, and I still remained friends with some people there. And though I had to stay home, I still connected myself to Claflin. Not to mention, two of my very, very, very best friends went there. So anything that they had going on, I got to experience that. So I'm not, looking back on it, I'm not upset or hurt anything like that, because I experienced in a slickest of ways. I experienced the HBCU life. I experienced life at Claflin, the meltdown, all that stuff, whatever. My major is concerned, like I said before, I wanted to major in accounting, and I had to have a reality check myself. Jovan, you will not be living your life in stress. You will not be living your life just upset, worried worried about accounting. So, I knew growing up, I wanted to major in business, in some capacity of business. I had to weigh out my strengths and weaknesses, and I found out that marketing was one of my strengths. And so I took a marketing course because I had to take it. It was part of my curriculum, but I took the course and I was like, you know what? I like this, let me take another one. So took marketing research, and I was like, all right, boom, this is going to be it. It's time for you to get up out of this school. Anyway, you haven't declared a major, declare this major, and, get on out your way. And so that's what happened. And that's how I got to marketing. And come to find out, I really feel like marketing really was the right fit for me. So.
That's good. See, the path.
Right, it's literally all about God's plan. I was like I said before, I was very upset. Didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do this, but it all worked out. Literally a handwritten plan.
Wow, good for you. So in saying that, I want to journey on to some of those core life values. So you spoke into how, it was God's plan, right? Jovan had all this stuff planned out, was already at Claflin, making friends and everything, roommate, secured. But, there was a difference, right? There was something more divine that had a different purpose. And so I want to talk to some of those core values, because you seemingly have like a good grasp on, this season of life, the last season of life. So share with us, if you will, how you're navigating, life after college, faith, fun, and friendship. Like, how in the world? Like, how did this mesh happen?
So, Tab, that's really funny that you said faith, fun, and friendship, because those literally, I kid you not, are my three core values of my life. So
good.
Faith, right, we literally are aligned here. So faith, that's all things, my Bible scriptures, my going to church every Sunday, saying pray up, walking in the path that Christ has laid out for me. Listen to, if you follow me on social media, I will post a gospel song just about every day, be it a screenshot of what I'm listening to on my Apple Music, or a video of me driving in my car, because I stay in my car, going somewhere, rocking out, praising, crying, shouting, whatever I need to be doing, whatever I'm feeling, I'm posting it on social media. So that, and friends and family, that's probably the number one for me, because, well, under faith, but that's probably second for me, because without my friends, I would be nothing. Like, get you some friends that push you, that encourage you, that motivate you to be your best self. Have you a friend underneath you? Have you a friend to the left, to the right, behind, on both sides, everywhere? Have you some friends that will literally be there for you through your best seasons of your life and through your worst seasons of life? Because God knows I wouldn't be where I'm at now without, first, God, but two, without those friends that were able to stand beside me when I was the worst of the worst. And even when I was on the come up, my friends were still there, started from the bottom, now we're here. So, and third, fun. Have you some fun. And by whatever you determine fun is, do that. So, for example, I love going to concerts. So I love Beyonce. I love Tori Kelly. I've been to both Beyonce and Tori Kelly concerts by myself. Have you some fun. You'll meet you some friends there and get your whole life there. You know, just doing you. Or I enjoy going to different restaurants and eating out. I don't have to go with friends. I can eat out alone. Those are fun things to me. Or like relaxing. Relaxing is very fun to me. In addition to it being fun, it's therapeutic. And relaxing could be doing absolutely nothing. It can be playing a game, cleaning up, whatever that is to you, do that. And so for me, though, that's how I was able to get through, you know, the rough seasons of life, the best seasons of life, and now, you know, my season after undergrad, because it was very rough. You know, the transition, no matter what, if you have a job or not lined up, it is a transition, and it is going to get rocky and rough sometimes. And so for me, I relied on my 3 F's, my faith, friends and family, that's one, and, you know, having fun. So,
wow.
Yeah.
That's good. You talked to us when you said, get you some friends. Get you some friends that go ride or die. Those are friends, you know?
Those are friends. And
we toss the word around. We play with the word, but the word is real.
Right, yeah. And I'm very serious about that. Like, those friends, you need to have you some friends that really are there to cover you. Hey, friend, I'm down. Let's go to the Lord real quick. Boom. Not a problem. Or, hey, you know what? I'm mad. Let's go turn up. All right, let's go. Where you want to go?
Right.
You know, just have you some friends. Right. You know, like, have you some friends that are literally there to aid your every need. Like, whatever it is that you may need, have you some friends there that can do that for you. And even if you like, I don't need you to say nothing. I just need you to sit here. Boom. I got you. I ain't got to say a word. You know, yeah, like, just be still know that he's God, okay? But like you said, we throw around that word friends or friends with an S a lot, but it's real out here in these streets. You need to have you some friends that are there to, you know, to push you and motivate you and allow you to be your best self. So, yeah.
Yep. Wow. That's it. We can drink right now, but okay. We will not. We're going to go a little further. So I was snooping on your IG, you know, and I saw that you were in a fraternity. Okay. So shout out, you know, to the Alpha.
Alpha fraternity.
Okay, let me say it correctly. Shout out to Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Okay. First Black Greek lettered organization from there. Very, very prestige organization. Nonetheless, we joke a lot, but there's a lot of seriousness in that.
Right.
So let me just ask, how does, you know, being a part of this organization impact your life? Maybe how it impacted your life in school and then now out of school, and then, you know, what made you decide to join a D9 organization? And you don't have to dig too deep on this one.
Okay.
As a fellow Greek, I know we keep it high level, but as much as you can, you know, talk to us around, you know, what made you decide to join. There's so many other things that you could have done with your time. And then how does it impact your life? How was it a piece of that Jovan puzzle?
Okay, so like you said, I'm gonna try to keep this brief because, like you said, I can really go on and on. But so real quick, this ties back into my Claflin story. So my best friend and I, we went to tour Claflin, and we were right outside of the chapel, and we happened to come across the Delta Alpha chapter. Shout out to y'all. They were taking pictures I'm assuming for the yearbook, and they were in what we call alpha attire. So they had on their official black suits with the shield on. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, look, like, you know, what are they? You know, so I'm in high school and I knew nothing about Greek life, not a single thing. come to find out there was alphas all around me, had no idea. But anyway, I see them and I'm like, wow, like they look real clean, real nice, you know, like, all right, cool. I love it. And so I got back home and I started asking, I was like, well, you know, like I saw, you know, these men on campus and they had on the, you know, black suits and the black and gold tie. Oh, they're alphas. They're in the fraternity. That's the fraternity. Okay, you should look into that. Boom. Come to find out, I loved Martin Luther King growing up, and I still do. And now, you know, he's my frat brother and stuff. He was an alpha. Thurgood Marshall was an alpha. All these people that I looked up to were alphas. So going to college, I said, okay, yeah, you're going to be an alpha because people that you look up to are a part of this organization. They've made great strides into our community, our African American community, and also a lot of people, and I'm sure in any Divine Nine, there's plenty of people there that have impacted their local communities that I'm sure some people might look up to. So, yeah, that's in a nutshell why I joined Alpha. But in addition to that, when I really sought out after Alpha, I was in probably one of the lowest places of my life, and Alpha helped bring me back to myself. Well, it was one of the things, I'll say that, one of the things that helped bring me back to myself. So I wasn't the only child. I have a brother, but we didn't grow up together. So being surrounded by people, being surrounded by my chapter, shout out to the Kappa Chi chapter, we had a lot of love. We had a lot of dysfunction, just like a literal relationship with, you know, your siblings, in this case, a brotherhood. So we had some really, really fun times in undergrad. We had some bad times, some sad times. We had some times where we had to, you know, we didn't have much. We had to lean on each other. But most importantly, we had times where we supported each other, but most importantly, supported our communities by doing service, by, you know, uplifting the communities, you know, staying true to our scholarship. You know, we are in these fraternities, but our main purpose of going to college is to graduate. So, and by graduate, you got to have the grades to graduate. So just kind of being surrounded by each other and helping each other uplift each other, if that makes sense. But hopefully that answers, you know, why I joined and what inspired me. This fraternity has impacted my life in ways that I could probably never repay. Like if I had to pay Alpha back, I'd be in debt for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Because you know, just kind of the relationships that I made with people in the fraternity are just unmatched. From being in the fraternity, I've gained 2 mentors that ain't going nowhere. Like I done told them, y'all are stuck with me, and I use them to the fullest extent. But that's the purpose of a mentor, to help you grow, to literally pull on their strings and learn as much as you can about the ropes of life, about the ropes of your career, about the ropes of your relationship with God, with Christ, whatever it is that they can offer to you. That is what, you know, the purpose of a mentor is. And through Alpha, I've gained 2 brilliant mentors. So, but like I said, I can literally go on and on. So I'm just going to stop right there.
It's okay. That was, you did it. You nailed it. Okay. You nailed it. You hit the key points and you didn't have to go on and on and on. So it was good. It was great. So earlier you mentioned that you were quiet, as a child, and so I'm not sure what age that cut off at, but this next question is going back, right? We're getting in the Tiny Tab time machine, and we're going to teenage Jovan in the early 2000s. I'm guessing that's when you were maybe a teenager, late 2000s, late 2000s. Late 2010s,
okay. I'm sorry.
Late 2010s, okay. You were a teenager, and what is something that you would tell your teenage self? If you could just go back to that guy for 1 minute, what would you tell him?
Whew, boy. First of all, I would tell that boy that right now, I would tell him, I am proud of your growth. But for the the most important thing I would tell him is, boy, slow down. Life is a marathon. It is not a sprint. Slow down, but most importantly, calm down. In my teenage years, I was always worried about, what everybody else is doing, or, what everybody else, how are they doing this and why are they doing, like, just worried about everybody else moving so fast. I want the next big thing, just worried about everybody but Jovan. And I had to, even growing up, I had to mind your business, just mind your business and do you, and slow yourself down. And so, I also want to kind of use that same message to kind of encourage your listeners. It's okay not to know everything. Slow down. Life is literally a marathon. Don't rush through life. Because when you get to the end, you're going to be like, all right, I'm here now, what?
Right.
I'm here now, what? So, definitely would tell myself to slow down, tell myself to mind my business. I was kind of nosy. So, and that's literal and that's figuratively. So, nosy in a sense of, I do want to know what everybody else is doing. And, yeah. So that's what I would tell myself.
Okay, great. Awesome. Mind your business and slow down. Got it.
Slow down, right.
Got it. So, before we wrap this thing on up, you've already told us that we can learn a little bit more about your friend, your friendship. We can see what songs you're listening to, maybe be able to attend some concerts, hear your stories. But in order to do that, you got to share with us, how can we connect with you after this?
Yes, please connect with me. You can follow me on Instagram at MassJK21, MassJK21. You can follow me on LinkedIn at Jovan Kindred, just search my name. Or you can add me on Facebook at Jovan Kindred as well. I love connecting with people. I love talking to people. Connect with me, add me, all that stuff. I'll be more than happy to talk to you, be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have for me about anything. Let's talk, let's link, let's connect, all that good stuff.
Sounds good. Well, y'all, I will have those links to connect with Jovan in the show notes so that you have them, and you can be like me and enjoy the concert via the stories. Jovan, I can't thank you enough.
Conferences.
All of that. Concerts, conferences, workshops, worship, all the things.
Worship.
Friends, all the things. So, Jovan, I can't thank you enough for being a guest on the Unleashed podcast. And I look forward to future connections.
Thank you for having me. This has been so great. I really thank you for this opportunity.
I told y'all it was going to be a goodie. Jovan was super transparent and really walked us through those transitions of his life thus far. Wishing him all the best as he continues to move forward in his career and whatever other greatness he decides to unleash in his corner of the world. As for you, before you leave, be sure to rate, review, and share the podcast so that others can be in on this greatness. Don't be over there stingy with the Unleashed podcast. Make sure to let other people know what you're listening to in your earbuds, in your office, or in your car. Until next time, catch you later.
Very encouraging.